Thank y'all for coming tonight. Welcome to Cross Creek High School, where we're gonna have an open forum about our college and career ready performance index, which is known as CCRPI. Our demographics for Cross Creek High School, currently we are 67% African American, and we are 24% Caucasian. Hispanic makes up the third majority group at 4.4%, and then multi-ethnic and other make up the remaining 2% of Cross Creek High School. Some more demographics on Cross Creek High School. Our male and female percentage, we are currently 54% male, 46% female. We are 98% economically disadvantaged. All right, the College and Career Ready Performance Index measures grades 9 through 12 in the state of Georgia, so the high schools. The Department of Education uses this tool for measuring how well schools, districts, and the state of Georgia are helping students achieve their goals. It provides a comprehensive roadmap to help educators, parents, and community members to promote and improve college and career readiness for all students. What does CCRPI measure? The four main components of CCRPI are follows. 1 is achievement, 2 is progress, 3 is achievement gap, and then 4 are challenge points. The CCRPI also reports other information such as the performance of student subgroups, school climate, and the financial efficiency status. The CCRPI score on a scale of 0 to 100 with a possibility of 10 additional points. And we're going to look at our 2019-2020 data because 2020 is when COVID hit, so there's no data on that as we did not test as kids went home. And then same for the 2021 school year. So we're looking at the 2019-2020 is our last year data. Cross Creek overall performs higher than 7% of the schools in the state and performs lower than its district on average. Cross Creek students' academic growth is higher than 8% of schools in the state and lower than the district. Its 4-year graduation rate is 80.7, which is higher than 21% of the high schools in the state and higher than the district. And 43.7% of all Cross Creek graduates are college and career ready, according to the CCRPI scale. All right, we're going to look at some of the CCRPI data now. Currently, Cross Creek in 2019 and 20 scored a 56.2 on the CCRPI scale, which measures at an F. If you notice right here, this is the grading scale. 90 to 100 is the A, 80 to 89.9 is a B, 70 to 79.9 is a C, and then 60 to 69.9 is a D, and then anything below 60 is an F, and we scored a 56.2. Okay, if you notice the other graph right here, we scored a 56.2 in yellow. Richmond County on average scored a 59.3. Now that's counting every school in Richmond County, elementary, middle, and high. And then Georgia scored an average of 75.9. So you can see from the numbers that we're behind our district in the state of Georgia. All right, some more CCRPI breakdowns. Major subgroups, content mastery, we scored a 36.8%. Progress, we scored a 65.2%. Closing the gaps, we scored a 37.5%. Readiness, we scored a 64%. Graduation rate, we scored a 81.6%. And then our overall CCRPI score was a 56.2, as we mentioned. All right, some issues in the CCRPI scores. For us as a high school first, student attendance was the biggest issue when digging into the data. 32%, so almost 1/3 of our students missed more than 10 days of instruction. The second issue that we found was teacher attendance and not fully staffed. So the first issue with the staff was 14 of 52 teachers missed 10 days or more of instruction. And then we had 4 teaching spots that year that had long-term subs in there that did not get filled. The third issue school-wise for Cross Creek was lack of resources and materials during the time. One of the big common things in the survey was no individual textbooks, and that was before one-on-one technology. Some Richmond County issues, lack of training for teachers, especially new teachers. So to speak, get thrown to the fire without knowing how testing works and preparing students for testing. The second issue is inability to track highly qualified teachers compared to the surrounding school systems. There's a big diversity right now in pay, benefits, and other perks compared to other school systems in surrounding areas, which makes it hard for us to hire quality people. And then lack of resources, again, at the county level, just like at our school level. All right, some trends. If you notice our 5-year trend, okay, in 2015, we scored a 79.1, and then the next 5 years, it's been a slow decline. Okay, and right now we're at 56.2, as you can see from the chart. All right, some areas to celebrate from the data. 81.6% graduation rate, which is greater than the district and state average. So that's an area to celebrate. And then we also achieved a 4-star climate rating. This is out of 5 stars. This is based on survey data from administrators, teachers, parents, students, and other stakeholders in our community. All right, some areas of weakness. We had several. Content mastery, which is obviously learning the content of math, science, social studies, and ELA. We only scored 36.8 out of 100 points. Closing the gap, which has to do with content mastery and closing the gap, so to speak, on achievement. We did not do that. We only scored 37.5 points out of 100. And if you look at the amount of money spent per student at Cross Creek High School, we spent $7,705 on each student, which seems like a lot of money, but when you start comparing it to Richmond County as a whole, they spent almost $9,000 as a kid. It was $89.85, and the state of Georgia spent almost $10,000 per kid. So we're quite a bit off on per kid capita at Cross Creek High School. All right, some school improvement plans moving forward. The first thing is hiring highly qualified teachers, provide teachers with district training to improve instruction, plan to increase student attendance, and doing that, incentives for coming to school for the students. If they're spending more time in the classroom, they're getting instruction, test scores will go up. Number 3, spend more money on resources per student, increasing technology, which we currently have as every student now is one-to-one. And then use Title I money to fund study skills classes, test prep classes, and tutoring programs to increase test scores. All right, does anyone have any questions? Thank you for your time and commitment. Thank you for coming out today.